Tom, it seems you have a communication disorder. All of a sudden, you can only read kanji, hiragana, and katakana.
Hey, Sam. Welcome to Tom's ASMR Japanese segment. I'm going to make a request. Can we get some chill music in the background for these episodes where we're just talking Japanese manga? We're chilling and vibing. You know, as someone who's been trying to learn Japanese for a long time and have watched many a video about how to learn Japanese, you do learn way more Japanese when you just sit down and try to read Japanese than how to read it. But what always frustrates me about those videos of people that are like, hey, it's my immersion update, you know, after year 3, they'll like talk about their manga they're reading, and they just like, yeah, so I read this and then read that, and it's just, they just like, yeah, I read like,
blast through it. Yeah,
they just list. It's like, what these are for is for those of you out there that want to know what the actual moment-to-moment gameplay is like. And so I've decided I'm gonna hijack Authentic Manga Podcast whenever I finish a volume of Japanese manga for the first time. And so today I finished Komi-San wa Komi desu, which is Komi Cannot Communicate, I believe, in English, which I've never read in English. I will probably. It's on the Viz app, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out. To see how close I was to comprehending this. Last time we did this, which it wasn't, again, I'm hoping we're having, you know, feather on snare, coffee jazz in the background. I did Yotsuba Volume 1, which is also fun. I had read Yotsuba Volume 1 in English before in 2 different translations, the Yen Press and the ADV original release in English. So that's a little different. And I said in that video that I don't think Yotsuba's like memed into being hey, how about I recommend you Yotsuba. If you go to Reddit, what should I be before? You're 80% Yotsuba. There's a lot of resources for Yotsuba, but after I've read Yotsuba, and I love Yotsuba in general, I'm a slice of life comedy. That's my shit. For language learning, it's so casual. It's so kids speak.
It's a little tough, yeah, from that angle.
It's a much further departure from the textbook Japanese you've probably been learning than Komi-San, where the people talk in full sentences that are like normal, you know, like it's still like high school, it's still basic language. The language is not too elevated. One of the characters can't talk either, which is convenient. She does a lot of writing, and we'll get into it. But like, as for just the experience of a Japanese learner, compared to Yotsuba, I thought this was a little bit more applicable, or my skills that I developed were more applicable. First, like Yotsuba though, it has furigana, so I don't need to know the kanji readings, which is a crutch I acknowledge that I'm relying on by reading this. Which, if you don't know, furigana is the hiragana above the kanji that tell you how to read the kanji, which to let you know what word this is. Like, it really helps you figure out, oh, it's that word, because sometimes you don't know the kanji by heart like that.
Yeah.
If you can, but you do know the word. As long as you can hear it, you could understand it.
And typically, you're gonna find furigana in stories meant for younger readers, usually, right?
Yes.
Is that like a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Nintendo games usually have furigana too. Like, just where you'll see it for younger audiences. It's just because even Japanese children don't know all the kanji. You learn that throughout school, you know. So, and Komi-san's clearly a younger audience. So unlike Yotsuba though, which I was reading like a PDF of the Japanese, I was gifted by a sensei, someone much further along their Japanese journey. They obviously, everyone recommends read manga to learn Japanese. You should watch anime and read manga. Just don't do it with English. Obviously, you're not gonna learn anything. And so he's like, I recommend this. Here you go. I have it. So this is the first physical Japanese manga I've ever read. Second Japanese volume I've ever read in general. Sam, you've read Komi.
Yeah.
So this is nice. This is
I have finished Komi. I finished all 500 chapters. I think it's fantastic.
Wow. Yeah. So I have a lot of thoughts on Komi from two perspectives. One, just with me enjoying it, which I think it really hit. I said one twice. 1A. It really hit me to like feel some pride of my progress that I could, without having read this in English, get it enough to enjoy it. You know, like I was enjoying it. I read it relatively fast. I had like a week with it. Do I think I nailed comprehension 100%? No. If you asked me a bunch of reading comprehension quiz questions, I probably get a 60 or something like that. I probably not the best job. But I think a genre like this fits the stakes of where I'm at with my language. Like, it's everyday, it's comedy, it's very lighthearted, it's also very like slower paced too. But then 1B, it was very like easy to understand enough too, where it's like, oh, I enjoy the actual like learning part of it as well. Like, I like the story, and I like the like what it gave me from this productive learning perspective.
I'd like to ask a question
as
a surrogate for the audience who might take this as inspiration to start learning Japanese themselves or wanting to read. When you would read Komi-San, if there was a kanji where you of course had the furigana, where you could read it but you didn't quite understand it, would you kind of stop reading right there and try to figure it out? Would you just try to finish the chapter or finish the page?
Yeah, there's phrases. There's 3 types of reading that these like gamer Japanese learners have. One, and I don't know the Japanese words off the top of my head, but like one is like intensive reading, where you look up everything you don't know. And that's a way to do it. That's exhausting. So you really have to, it's like study mode. I did not do that with this. Then there's like easy reading. And again, I might not have the terms correct 100%, but where you're just kind of letting it, and you're just enjoying it. And if you don't know a word, you just keep reading. Maybe you look up a word every now and then, though. It's not, there's no like strict rules in this one. And then there's speed reading, where you actually have like a time limit to get through fast, to test, like, so you turn off the translator in your head, which happens. Like, but if you go fast enough, it's like, I need to be able to just recognize the sentence pattern and know the meaning without doing the English translation.
I see.
So I was doing the easy reading.
The casual
I was just enjoying it. If I wanted to look something up, I did. But sometimes if I didn't know a full, like maybe there's a whole panel I just wasn't quite getting, sometimes I just move on. Because sometimes, and I have a few examples of this, I'd be reading and I'm like, what does this mean? And then something 2 pages later contextualized that, and it was as weird as I thought it was, and now it makes more sense of what's happening. So sometimes I just the easy reading helps you trust yourself more, that if something shows up enough, you'll just pick it up. And that's true. There's a lot of words that show up a lot in this that was like useful, that comes up again and again. Or sometimes I just didn't get it. And you know what? I would rather read it once like this and then go back and do maybe more lookups on a reread. Or read the English now and then reread it again now, having read the English. Helps me kind of also learn grammar that way, because sometimes with this stuff, like, you can know you can know every word in the sentence and not know what the sentence means, because the grammar structure is you're just not quite catching how it's saying it. I remember talking to you about it and being like, so does Tadano-kun like want to stop being so normal? And you were like the opposite. And I was like, well, I mixed up my negation grammar points here, because I saw it the other way. But like, okay, at least, but I'm trying to take away, and because learning Japanese is a long journey, you got to stay positive. I'm trying to be like, hey, I was close, yay, like, like that was cool. Okay, I had the general idea, but I missed a nuance of the grammar that negated something that wasn't there. The story itself is really fun. It's very wholesome. Volume 1 goes up through this game that they play. Komi-san's only made 2 other friends other than it's Taro-kun. So Taro-kun, which is
Osana Najimi.
Osana Najimi. Oh, that's right. Doi. And then Akari.
Yeah.
I believe that's her name. They say her name so much that I should.
Agari, I think. Right.
Agari. And so those are the only friends she has so far at the end of volume 1. But I would say the set piece of this volume is the Starbucks set piece. And I'd like to talk to you about that because even I was like, wow, this in Japanese is really funny. And I'm sure it was funny in English too.
Yeah.
Do you remember this scene?
This is the scene where basically this is like the chapter 2 after she becomes friends with Osana Najimi. And Najimi, who's just a fucking freak, just a freak, is basically sending her on all these chores and sends her to go do a Starbucks order, and she fucks up the order and she sends her back. And
I think, okay, so can you help me with Osana Najimi? So I'm getting hints that this is a trans character.
No,
but then she will then openly admit she's a guy. We're saying she.
It's Osana Najimi is Osana Najimi. It's not like it's so the character is because Osana Najimi means childhood best friend.
No, of course. But I'm talking about
the gimmick with the character is that Najimi is everyone's childhood
so could look
friend.
Like a guy, look like a girl.
So yeah, it could be look like a guy, look like a girl, and it's not I believe they could. I believe in the English translation, it's they're referred to both as he, she interchangeably throughout when you read it.
I think I see that because there's moments where like parenthetical where it's like when they say the girl and it's like boy ? Like so there yes, and yeah so and part of it's like Komi-san's me right now. I can't say anything either, in Japanese. And so
do you find it a little relatable with like from that perspective?
I mean, she's sick.
She's got some problems, yeah.
It's like diagnosable. She needs medication, Komi-san. But very funny. She's very funny. Reactions are very funny. But one way that Osana-san, sometimes they call him that, right? Osana-san. Tries to get her out of her shell is, hey, give me my Starbucks order for me, and then gives the most like insane Starbucks order in the world. I'm gonna try and find it. Okay, here it is. Right here is the Japanese speech bubble for it, which is on katakana, which means she's saying English words. So that's part of the challenge is like, it's not even Japanese that she's asking. It's one they call it stabe, which I think is like a legally distinct, because I think they do staba in Japan. But I'm not gonna try. This is really hard to read. But non fatto miruku pistachio deep mocha dipu cream frappuccino with. That's what's really funny about this, Sam. Look, if you notice, it just says like English letter with your WITH horizontally with choco so chocolate sauce no media, which is like medium. Kate kitte yo. So go and buy it for me. And they were like, what? And then what? And what progresses is a hilarious scene that really like I got lost in. And these are the moments I was talking about with Yotsuba, where it's like it's very funny. It's very relatively easy Japanese too. There's a lot of funny scenes of her kind of walking in and out and back into the Starbucks to like, get up her courage to go order it. That are kind of narrative, like descriptive scenes, no dialogue. So it's one simpler for me to read because the grammar is more structured in that way because it's not people talking. And then you get the backstory with this black apron barista. Like,
oh, the barista, yeah.
Yeah, and his order is very funny because he like, I'm the best ever. She can't communicate. Well, guess what? I can just see her and know her order because I'm the best. I am the black apron barista, and I won the tournament arc of and his order, as you can see, is even crazier. And I did go. I don't even think I'm supposed to read this. I think I get the joke without having to read it. And so I just kind of like, haha, that's really funny. I'm getting you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just need to know enough, I feel like. And that chapter in particular, because some of these chapters like 2 pages, that one was a much longer one. I just got lost in a way that was like, oh, okay, I'm doing it. Like I'm on the journey. I definitely recommend Komi-San as a Japanese manga for beginner's heart. What does beginner mean?
And you said, but
you need some knowledge. Like,
yeah. Of course. Yeah. But what something you said to me too when we were initially talking about this, like a few days ago off pod, is you told me you found there's some good, similar to Yotsuba, good resources for Komi-San specifically in Japanese.
I think people have picked up on this one being a relatively good starting point for manga in Japanese, because people are so literal with stuff too, and how they communicate, like their names.
All the names are.
And so I do think in general it's a good starting point compared to like the really heavy dialects, the very casual speech of Yotsuba. It can be hard to like just. Like sometimes there's words that just the way they're said in Yotsuba you just don't recognize because they're said with the dialect that you're not familiar with. We're like, that's not happening here in this one. Like it's either I know the word or I don't. I never like, oh, it's that word. Yeah. I know kuru, like I know iku, like, but just the way they said it in Yotsuba would be unfamiliar. Where this one, like, it has a kanji pretty regularly, but it has the furigana. It makes it really easy. Now, I'm probably going to be at furigana manga level for a while. I know it's a crutch. I'm going to give it up eventually, but as my second volume, I'm happy with this as it is, and I want to pick up more. And one thing that's nice about Japanese manga is it's often much cheaper than English anyway. So if I wanted to keep collecting this, I feel like I'd have an easier time. But I get what people were hyped about. And also I just want to. This is a review of Japanese Tankobon. So small and cute and compact.
Can you hold up English?
Yeah. Let me
copy?
do that. Hey, let's do English Yotsuba.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh, okay, yeah, that is notably smaller.
Notably smaller. Much more like you can do one hand hold if you want. I love the little sleeve that they have here, and you get a unique back cover of
very
that,
cute,
which is fun. It's funny that it goes black and white for the actual print, and they just print the color on the sleeve. Much smaller, sometimes so small. The furigana is sometimes so small, Sam.
You might as well not even be there sometimes.
I'm gonna see if I can find an example, and if I can, it's okay. But sometimes I literally thought, no joke, need a magnifying glass. Like legitimate, like Amazon search result magnifying glass.
Benefit of reading on an iPad. Zoom in.
Yeah, it was like, some of these were so. Again, I can't. There was some that, because some of these look small, like. I'm sure this looks pretty small.
Oh yeah,
and it's not really focusing, but I mean smaller. There's sometimes where it's like I literally can't get this close enough to see it, and those are frustrating because and that's where I felt like I should just learn the kanji then. Like those are moments where I'm crutching too much on the furigana. That's like. It's almost like more. I should just know the kanji. The other thing that's helpful with furigana too, and we can end off after this, but you can look up words easier. If you don't know the reading of the kanji, you can't Google it. Like you don't know how the words spell.
Yeah.
So furigana helps you look up easier too, and there's none of that there. there's some like searches where you can draw. It's the AI, they kind of suck. And so it can be a lot more frustrating looking up kanji that you don't know when they don't have the furigana. But the other thing I think this helps with people is it just teaches you endurance to like be uncomfortable with the ambiguity of it. Like that's a lot of Japanese to read, and there's no break. Like it's from
it doesn't.
Except for with, except for the word with, which is very
an
funny.
oasis.
Yeah. WITH. Yes.
Oh, thank God.
That like it makes you more comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, which I think that's what this is going to teach me more than anything. Is like looking up a word every time you don't know it is also bad. I feel like it makes it a terrible experience. You're not enjoying yourself. You're not allowing yourself to not know something either.
And you're probably not learning either, because like if you sit down to read and yeah, you maybe only understood 70% of it, but if you chose to look up 5 specific things where you're like, okay, I really don't know what this is. Actually, I will take a second. And again, kind of what you said, occasionally look something up if you feel like it. Yeah. You're going to remember those 4 or 5 like vocab words way more than, I read a chapter of Komi-San and I stopped 40 times to look up 40 different words. You're probably not going to remember those 40.
Yeah, I typically would look something up if maybe I didn't know it, and then I saw it again in another page, and I was like, okay, maybe it's good to know this one. That would be the most often times I looked it up. I know this is like an incredibly popular manga too, right? Like this is like, he's reading Komi-San. Oh wow. All of a sudden you have this niche thing. Like, no, this is a very popular one, and that's the one that's kind of fun because I like the Starbucks scene so much. I went and found the clip online.
Oh yeah,
the anime. The anime includes like the manga descriptive bubbles I was talking about.
Oh, it's necessary. Yeah. It's necessary to have them. So
but like in Japanese, and they put a translation above it. I think I was like, hey, there's my guy, my bubble I read, and those I could understand. Like those are pretty easy sentences that at least where I'm at. I don't know. People always say like just start reading manga. I feel like you need some foundation first, even for something like this that's simpler, because you're even if you can look up every word, the grammar structure you don't have any familiarity with, and so like how they go together is going to be really frustrating. It's going to be frustrating, and you're never going to be able to like lock in for those short moments. So I like it, and I if I was going to rank a tier list
of manga to read in Japanese,
of Yotsuba, if Yotsuba was 1 because it was the only one we had, for manga to read as Japanese as you're just starting out, I would knock Yotsuba to 2 and put this up at 1 because of the many reasons I detailed. Not to say, I think Yotsuba is a good one to read because it's great, but I don't know if it's quite as helpful.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
This is a very specific power ranking type of list.
This is incredibly new, impossible to. Yeah, right. I was given Naruto Volume 1 as the second of the 2 gift from the senpai. Senpai is a better word than sensei. From my senpai, and so I might come back with Naruto next time. That might be a fun.
Oh, that could be fun.
A fun episode of like copying. Never read Naruto, so that's another fun one to like. But I know all the meme words, the Hokage, like I know I'm familiar with Naruto in a way that most people our age grew up with it being on Cartoon Network, Toonami, but I've not been a Naruto follower outside of just osmosis, really.
No, me neither.
So that might be a fun one to do next time we have it, and we don't do I don't promise these every week. Again, this is just for the chill coffee hour, Starbucks. Sampled some chill track from something where we hang out and talk about this, because there's not enough people getting into the weeds of that. Like I said before, it's like oh yeah, I read 50. I read a full light novel, and yeah, that was kind of hard. I probably knew, like they just gloss over and move on.
Yeah, they don't. We don't get it really any of the sauce or specifics, which I'm glad we got to sit on Komi-San. I love this series. It's great, super cute.
Yeah, I mean, I will keep reading it. I enjoyed it, and I hope people that are interested in learning Japanese or stopped and started. That's the thing. A lot of people make videos about Japanese for people that are like good at it already, and like are so worried about advice being like the optimal and whatever. This is for the 99% of us that are still like at the beginning of the journey, trying to get our feet wet, trying to learn, like that are intimidated about all these people that are obviously so much better because they made it over the hill. I relate more to the newcomer than those people still, because you know they're definitely way better than I am, but also like just the way they talk about things is it can be elitist, it can be a little bit gatekeepy, and that's not what we're here. We are reading 100% authentic manga. There's nothing more authentic than this segment, Sam. I don't want to like. I'd rather people just be more encouraged to try than like intimidated, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so too. Yeah, if anyone is either dual language or has picked up Japanese themselves and has also started their manga reading journey, let us know if you've read Komi-San, if you've read Yotsuba, if you recommend any series for Tom to check out while he's doing this. Let us know. Stay authentic.